I did not expect that I would be making another video today. But the inspiration came, and I'm not gonna, when the universe gives you a door, wants you to open it. So here I am doing yet another video of the day. I'm like, can I just do other things? But no, I had the inspiration. I'm going to act on it. So here I am. So hopefully it won't be as long as the other ones. But I wanted to talk about the whole basis of where and how. Well, not how, but you're watching this on YouTube. You're watching me on YouTube, and YouTube is the platform that I am on. So I might as well talk about my story of being on YouTube. I mean, I had another idea to film a thing about my whole thing with music and that all, but I just don't feel quite inspiration to do that just quite yet. Maybe I will sometime. But I have all these ideas, but I'm gonna ground myself one thing at a time when it feels right. I'm not going to try to do all these things all at once. No. So, I don't intend to film a lot of videos that I just want to. It's like, I'm not trying to film the videos to get the views. So whenever I say those things about, don't post so much. Well, I have a lot of ideas and things to act upon, so I'm going to post things, okay? I'm going to post a lot of things, and I've been doing that lately. And I'll continue to do that. I will continue. So you will be always inundated with videos. If you're like, oh, I saw this video, but there's this new one and I want to go back. Well, the video is still available. You can go back and see. There's no pressure to see my latest video of what I come up with. There's no requirement for seeing videos on my channel. If you are somewhat in the middle of a video that you're enjoying from me, and you see a new video pop up, then I just happen to post another video. Doesn't make the other ones less valuable. I had the idea and I'm going to post it. And, to those people who say, don't post so much, otherwise you won't get very much following. Well, I don't do it for the following. I do it because I have the inspiration to do videos, and darn it, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to hold it in. No. Now, life will not always be this way. Because life isn't always this way. I have a lot of time on my hands. I'm home from college community classes, and when I get there, you will see less videos for darn sure, because I'll be busy with things and I'll have to find alternative ways of getting inspiration. There'll be more written posts for me, so expect my community tab to be more filled with stuff, because I need a way to express it. And if I can't film, then I'm going to do that, and that's just the reality of how it goes. I'm not going to try to fight against that, because that's just what it is going to be at the time. I will stick to my planned videos a week. I will not be bending that anytime soon. So, alright, so delving into this video, with my whole view of YouTube, and history of YouTube. Well, I wasn't consciously aware of the platform that I was watching when I started. I just thought this was a video off of somewhere, and and I enjoyed it. And it all started when I got introduced to I want to call him a YouTuber, Dissociation. You can go check out his channel. And when I was little, I had these very bizarre interests in things. I was interested in elevators. I was fascinated and mesmerized with elevators. And he created elevator videos. And he was one of the pioneers, one of the first ones, because at the time, YouTube came out in 2005, and I started watching it 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. It was 2008. No, not that early, but like 2009, 2011, that kind of thing. And I started watching these videos, and I saw this one where he was stuck in an elevator and couldn't get out of the elevator. And that is basically what happened there. So, I don't want this to become my total life. I do not want it to be. I don't want this making videos to become my life. Okay, I want to have other interests. But I'm in a creative phase right now. I am in my progressed moon in Leo. I'm meant to be expressive. I'm meant to be focused on myself. I'm allowed to do this. I'm in my progressed moon in Leo. I'm a North Node in Taurus. I'm allowed to do what makes me feel good, sense of self-worth, and feel good about myself. When it moves into Virgo next year in the summer, things are going to change, and health is going to become a big thing, and I'm going to be less, expressive. I'm less putting myself out there. I'll still be doing that at the time later. I can, guarantee that. At that time, but it'll be different, and I will be in a different phase and all the kind of things like that. So I've written a couple of things down here because I want to get to all these points. So Dissociation. I saw a video of being stuck in an elevator. I saw a video where he was going to I think Gemster is his name, his friend house to stay overnight, and it was just very, very cool to watch the car ride. I was like, ooh, I'm going on an adventure. Like, I've always been drawn to car rides and going on adventures and traveling in cars. So, okay. So it was really, really neat to see the, him traveling, with going to McDonald's and going to, all these things. You can go see the videos of him when he was just starting out. I saw those videos. So I started with watching him, and I was watching his elevator videos. I found them very, very interesting. I was fascinated with elevators, just the look of them. My interests were very, very superficial. Just the look of something. Just the look and the idea and the thought of something was what I was interested in. I didn't have genuine interest at the time like I do now. Like, I admired pens, not for writing. I didn't want to use them for writing. Just the look of them and the idea of having a pen and how beautiful they were. Like, that's kind of my interest of things when I was little. Then I saw roller coaster videos on YouTube. And, I'll have to do an update video of this way later in the future. And this is going to be an ongoing story. I'm just telling you from the point, starting up to this point. So, roller coaster videos. Saw a lot of roller coaster videos. Was mesmerized by that. I also saw a lot of house tours. I'm very, very interested in house tours. I've been always fascinated with houses and touring houses and exploring what's in the house. Very, very fascinated with that. Particularly cabins. Cabins on wheels. Like, I saw a video about a cabin on wheel. And that was one of the oracle cards in my Menton oracle deck that I discussed. Kind of a story with that in my Menton series, if you want to go check that out in this Real Me podcast. Kind of a sub-series of this podcast, and I put a lot into creating that oracle deck. So to kind of understand the idea that I came up with when I was little and kind of making it more official thing and a more legitimate, nuanced thing that I can articulate it now. When you're little, you live in a very, very superficial world, in a very, surface level world. It's like when you're a child, it's surface level. When you can be older, it's very, very deep. And I'm already very, very deep already. And just imagine how deep I will be years to come. Wow. So anyway, saw house tours. I also saw this mansion of this house in like Arizona that I thought was really, really neat. Arizona Paradise. Is what I think it was called. It had like a snack bar and and a outdoor swimming pool, whatever. Then I watched water slide videos. In 2012, I watched a lot of those. I was into that. And the thing was with YouTube, I didn't think much of it. It was new. We're just starting out. I was so little. I didn't think much of YouTube. I really didn't. I mean, I could care less about it. Not wanting to associate with it. Because I thought it was just limited videos and I guess too cool. And everybody was putting themselves out there and I just didn't want to do that. At the time, putting myself out there publicly. So there was this thing like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to associate with it. Or something like that. I mean, probably not getting that right, but something where I bet some people recommended to me in my past, you should get on YouTube and start a YouTube channel. And I just dismissed the idea. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. If you ever tried YouTube, well, it's like this thing at the time it was new. Like, you should get on here and you should make videos and all this stuff. And so I didn't want to put myself out there. I did not want to do it. I did not feel the need to do it. Felt uncomfortable doing it. And I was not authentic. I mean, I was authentic, but I wasn't myself authentic. Like, I was authentically expressing my heart's desire of changing my voice, of playing characters. And I don't know how well that would go if I put that out there. Which is why I've gotten rid of the private videos that I put myself that were on my channel because I was wounded to put those publicly. You can check out the Wounded Deleting for more details on that. But I don't want you to see those videos of me pretending to be other characters. Because that's what I did. Is pretend to be other characters, like mentioned characters, like Julia Esconroll. Had all these pretend voices, and I thought of myself as a older woman. That's how I perceived myself growing up, as an older woman who's special and superior, like P.L. Travers in Saving Mr. Banks. That's how I perceived myself when I was in school, in daycare at school. So, yeah. And let me tell you this story. This kind of overlaps with music, and I'll just get into it here. I was jealous of people. I was jealous of people when I was little. And the first time I noticed my jealousy with people was when they were playing guitar. When they were singing. I couldn't handle being around somebody who sang live and played guitar live, or piano, or any instrument, because I felt jealous of them. It was like, I wish I could do that. Why can't I do that? You shouldn't be able to do that. I should be able to do that. But I was attracted to it. Well, I was mad at it, but I was attracted to it. was something delicious about it. Like, I was attracted to the people that I was jealous of. And I remember walking down the street with my family and hearing a guitar playing and some singer, and it was like a blurred belovedness where I didn't see them clearly, and I assumed something, and then I proceeded as like Johnny Cash or something, of which I was into Johnny Cash, and I watched him, listen to his music when I was little. Of course, I didn't listen to it for real reasons. I just, the idea of it and the appearance of Johnny Cash, like very, very superficial things when I was little. So, seeing this person, at a house performing, I was jealous of that. And then in the, when I was at a parade, there was somebody playing guitar there that I remember very, very faintly. And, unpleasantness happened, let's just say, and I was, very, very jealous of that. And now I find it beloved. Like I've always found it beloved. Like, there's a belovedness to when people sing and play guitar and play instruments. It is beloved. Even in 2024 it was. It's always been that way. It is beloved, yet it makes me mad. Kind of like the video I produced today on successful YouTube creators. Beloved, but it makes me jealous and mad. So you can find that video where I explain the song that I did to find more details on that. But so, that's my thing with it. That's my thing with music. And the thing with YouTube is, so much of it is outside of my control. And I struggle to digest the fact that you can't control the world. And now I live that because I am in control of my own destiny. And what I do, but I wanted to be in control. I wanted to be the boss of everybody growing up. Like there was this need to be the boss and to be in control of everybody when I was growing up. It was just not one kind of anxiety, but it just this need to be superior, this need to be in control and powerful when I was growing up. That's a strong feeling that I had. And it's a Scorpio quality, like the need to be in control, and I have the South Node there, so, and it's about other people. Like, I was getting so involved with other people that I wasn't focused on myself. When growing up, I copied what kids were eating at lunch, and I wanted to get the same thing. Like, I was so tuned to other people and what they were doing, and now I'm following my North Node and Taurus. Like, it's values now, and I feel like I'm very, very clear on my values right now at this point in my life. So, I feel like I'm really stepping into my North Node and Taurus. But anyway, I keep bringing that up because it just comes up. Because I just feel so proud of that particular placement in my chart. So, okay. And I just would feel so jealous of all these. And I didn't feel jealous of Diesel Juicy, but, I would feel jealous of, like people playing music on YouTube, like artists on YouTube, music artists, and all these videos, and I would feel jealous of them. Like, I would want to control them. Like, I would want to be in control of them. And with age comes wisdom, and I understand that you can't, and I understand the empowering feeling of that, and I understand, I'm not focused on them anymore. Yes, I watch their content and I do all that, but I'm not jealous of the people that I watch on YouTube. Because we all have talents and we're all good at different things. We're all interested in different things. So, I don't feel that way with videos on a normal basis. So then in this kind of overlaps with another video that I did on my story with astrology. So I go in depth about my story with astrology. That's one of the first podcasts. I actually did that video using Tune to Tune. I don't use it anymore. Not very good. But I do, use that. And I do have some things to say about a certain astrologer, which I don't regret voicing my opinion because I brought her up and, I did this. You can check out that video where I discuss that, because so much of my content is astrology, so you obviously want to know what my story with astrology is. So that's why I did that. So and what I want to do with these videos is I want to go back and look at my cycles and look at the transits that were going on in my chart at the time to do real life astrology. It's very, very difficult to do that. You have to go back and look at all the planets, and I just have to look up ways. I have to look into ways of looking back at my cycles. But as soon as I do, I will probably run for the hills with it and be turning this Real Me podcast into transits of what was going on and what was going on in my life. I will probably be doing that. And probably those will be thousands of Google videos because of the information involved in those videos. So it'll probably get, more personal with those videos, since there will be information involved with that. So that just may, it is a personal podcast, and, I am very personal on that podcast as well. So, but sometime I want to do that. I want to do it. So getting to astrology, I saw astrology videos, about my signs, about, like this one video I saw about my sun sign Aries, traits and characteristics is what it was called. I found out Deborah Silverman, who acted out the 12 signs, and she really started me off. And I have a very, very similar chart to her, and I just happen to go deeper with my astrology. So, and there are reasons for that. And I don't need Adam to ruin everything. And I don't need Adam ruins everything to ruin me and what I do, because I feel like Adam ruins everything could come in, like Adam could come in and ruin me very, very easily, and then just put that out there for the whole world to see. And you know what I will say to Adam? You will not impact what I do. And you know what? All the things you're saying are fine. They're fine things. They're positive things. They're not bad things. I embrace these things that you're saying, and I'm going to continue to do what I want to do. Thank you very much for your truth, but I'm going to continue to do what feels right to do. Thank you very much. Goodbye. The end. That's what I would say to Adam if he were to ruin me. If you're ever saying Adam ruins everything. So I just thought I might mention that. So I got into astrology. I saw Deborah Silverman's interpretation of the signs. And this is when I really started watching YouTube, seriously. Watching, her videos where she acted out the signs. She kind of made a caricature of my Aries sign, jumping. And these were old videos that she filmed, like, the video where she was jumping around and all energetic and all, exaggerated. And I'm like, yeah, I am more Gemini than I am Aries, because I have more Gemini in my chart. Just like my grandma, a family member, has, Pisces and Virgo in her chart, but she has more Pisces than Virgo in her chart, even though she said the opposite, because she has more planets in that sign. So I am an Aries, but I am not a physical Aries. I am intellectual. I use my Aries energy through talking, communicating, all that. But there were some things that were relatable in that video, some things that weren't. I'm not going to cover this because I covered this in my my story with astrology video, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over this. watched astrology videos of, like Howcast videos of, the signs, like really, really basic stuff on different signs, like you would start out with. I know this one astrologer started out with learning about her North Node and Taurus, and I was like, wow, that's very, very interesting. I certainly didn't start out that way. I started with the sun signs, as, you'd think that you would back in 2019. So that's when I started. My exploration and my journey with astrology officially began in 2019, although the seed was planted in 2018. So, watch those videos. Howcast, just want to channel modern cosmic astrology, her sun sign videos. Follow Deborah Silverman in, October 2019 with her daily astrology videos, where she would do the sun is in Scorpio, the moon is in Libra, and this combination makes a person this, and all the, like grand crosses and aspects of what are going on. Like she gave an overview. That's what she gave very overviews, like they were 3-4 minutes long videos, sometimes 2 minutes. Very, very short, very, very concise, simple videos, very, very digest. Oh, I wish she was producing content. I wish she was still producing videos, because like it could be in her house. She doesn't do the whole astrology answers thing anymore. I wish that she was still producing videos. I just miss her videos. But I started out with her. And I watched her for many, many years. And I remind myself of her, like I think my communication is very, very similar to her. If you watch her and me, maybe you'll find a similarity of that, but you'll find some differences for sure of how I talk about astrology and how she talks about astrology. And not that it's good or bad, and or better or worse, but anyway. So watch those videos, kind of, and yeah, I should say, watch it throughout 2020. Kind of following my list here. Got into spirituality videos. I started following Colette Baron Reed and her weekly oracle card reading videos that she did back in 2020, where she did oracle readings where she pulled cards for the week, and that's how I first got started with oracle cards. Like, what is this about? How can cards be like this? And so I got into that, and of course I have over 100 decks now, and eventually I will buy more that is on my list to buy. So that'll come later, and I have more on my list that I want to get. So not at the moment, but more is coming. So getting into that. Now I should say that December 2018, Christmas Eve, December 2018, because my family was celebrating Christmas early because we were going to New Orleans for a wedding that year. I joined YouTube, and there's a history with YouTube. It is not a pure, clean history. Let me just tell you that right now. I will bring that up. I brought that up in several videos. I am not like many other YouTubers who started with joining and just had one channel all throughout and didn't get rid of channels. Like, that was not me. Okay, that was not me. I wish it was, ideally, but that was not me. And that's not what happened. I don't want to make myself into something that I was not. I don't want to cover up what I feel guilty and what I, what really defines who I am, I feel like. So, like how you join YouTube, I got my first phone in December 2018. I joined it for the first time. Then in October of 2020, I started posting private pretend videos to my YouTube channel that was actually my school account. It was actually my school account, like my local high school, and the account that I had for YouTube with that. So I started posting, all on there, and this was my Amenton videos. These were pretend private videos, and I want to tell you the story. I did live streams. I pretended to do meetings, and I actually have, if you want to see what those meetings look like, one of the very, very first videos that I produced is an Amenton meeting. because I did the pretend, but I made that public back in 2024. So if you want to see what it looked like and what it was, you can certainly go back and see that, because I intended to make that video public, and darn it, that's going to stay up there. So I'm not going to delete any more videos off my channel. I don't plan to. So, okay. Taking my time with this. So, produced the live streams of my meetings where I stood up in front of a room, pretended there was people in there with a whiteboard and gave announcements and, discussed stuff and pretended to teach. A lot of it was meetings and announcements. That's what it was. I made a lot of videos every day for months from October 2021. And I followed other astrologers like Pam Gregory, and I started getting into her, and, so I watched those in 2021. Then August 2021, I suddenly got rid of one channel. Just out of impulse. Deleted the whole channel. Wasn't thinking, wasn't very mindful and aware. I just deleted it. And if I would have thought like, oh, I would want to keep to these videos, well, yeah. You can check out the Wounded Deleting to find out my feelings on this if you want more information on that. So I was very inspired to record that episode. Okay. So, deleted, those videos out of impulse in August 2021. And then, the summer of 2021, I actually attempted to make myself public. Like, I did a pretend live stream where I was pretending to do a live stream where I meditated and pulled oracle cards with the very few limited decks that I had in the summer of 2021 when I started buying oracle cards. I did a live stream and I made it public, and I was going to take it down and make it private afterward, but I wanted to just do it just for the heck of it, just to make public videos just for the heck of it. So I did that, and then I took it down. I made several other videos public that I took down, and my family was like, you don't want to become this person. My family was kind of, worried about me putting myself out there and doing that. Like, your grandma would discourage it, and I was like, well, gosh darn, I want to do this, so I'm going to do it. So, October 2021, I got rid of I got the account that I got rid of in August 2021 was my school account. I got rid of my official account that I joined in December 2018 in October 2021 because of a ridiculous reason. I couldn't put timestamps in the videos. When I did, they didn't show up in the videos. So that's why, because of that, and only because of that, I deleted the whole entire thing. Can you believe that? Can you believe my mind at the time? How, I just think that was just very, very irresponsible and very careless of me to do, and very rash of me to do, deleting a whole channel just because I can't put timestamps don't show up in my video. Like, I just find it unbelievable that was my reasoning for deleting my whole channel of over a couple months worth of videos that I put on there. Also, October 2021 was when I started my original YouTube channel. And I started out with audio recordings. It was all audio. I was using this voice changer app where you would record yourself on a voice changer or a separate, audio recording, and the app, and you would, use a voice changer, click the three dots, create an image to this video, and then you would take a picture, and then it would, create the video for you, and then you would be able to upload it. So I did that where I did songs, and these songs were just me making it up as I went along, which I don't do now. I write my songs out, and I, have kind of a melody involved prior to that. A lot of the melody I make up as I go, but the main melody I tend to keep too. I want to keep it open-ended for myself, so that's the beauty of it. I don't want to make it too complicated for myself. So I produce those videos. I produce like weekly videos. I did like oracle readings, like spiritual messages. Like I didn't want to give away the card for that. The cards of what they were, the deck that I was using, and quotes for the week. I did that. I started this podcast, which didn't last very long. This is a real official podcast. The podcast that I did at the time was just me reading stuff. Like back in November of 2021, I had this podcast where I read a quote, read a short story, read a poem. That's all I did, because I thought I would listen to myself read and be inspired. But now I'm like, I don't want to listen to myself read. Boring. I don't want to do that, which is why I'm not a fan of audiobooks, because I just it's nice, but still. So I did that. Okay. So, then in December 2021, I filmed my first astrology update to be posted to my public channel. And I posted pretend astrology videos back starting March 2020, but this was the first official one that I posted publicly to YouTube. And this was, well, my computer needs to be charged. Red now, so it needs to be charged. Okay. I filmed my first official astrology video. It was on the solar eclipse in Sagittarius, the new moon solar eclipse in December of 2021 that I filmed. I had my camera at my window, I had my computer open, I had notes. And now I'm going to spill my secrets out to you. It would have to catch up to me sometime, and I'd have to reveal it to you. Like, I have a lot of knowledge of astrology. Okay? I'm very, very knowledgeable, but I am not an astrologer. I'm a YouTube astrologer. I produce videos on astrology. I don't read charts. I don't do readings. I don't track cycles. I don't do all that. How I do my videos is I have notes that I take from external sources that I combine into my own insights that I then share with you. Because I couldn't just come up with that all on my own. I don't have that level of knowledge to do that. So I want to be transparent. I hope that doesn't diminish my authority on the subject and what I do. I hope that that it doesn't do that. So what I did at the time was I took notes off of this one website, and really I didn't know how to put things in my own words at the time, and did that. I filmed that video. I filmed like every two weeks for like a month. I filmed for several weeks. I filmed like the new moon in Sagittarius, the solar eclipse, December 16th of that year. December 18th was the full moon in Gemini, which was a full moon, not an eclipse. So I filmed that, and that video is mostly about other stuff besides the actual event. At that time, I didn't look at a chart, and didn't look at degrees, and didn't look at orbs. It was, I didn't do that because I didn't have those skill levels at the time. So, I filmed those videos, continued to film, got a microphone that I hooked up to my computer Christmas of, December 2021. Filmed cooking shorts in, December that I published and then got rid. Oh my gosh, I wish I kept those shorts. Oh my gosh. I got rid of those too. So I have a history of getting rid of a lot of videos. So that's what you need to know about me. I made that wounded deleting video for a reason. So continue to making a lot of shorts and a lot of astrology update videos to my YouTube channel, to my original YouTube channel. I started like pulling up articles on websites and looking at, which I don't do now, but that's how I started. That's what I started off with. Did these astrology live streams, or I sometimes talked about the transits during the live stream, but they mainly were like spiritual stuff. Thoughts that I had that I shared on live streams that I wanted to talk about. Of course, I do that in the Real Me podcast now, mostly. And my community tab in live streams if I feel so inclined to do that. But so, anyway, I did that for a time. I continued on 2022, kind of doing the same things, astrology updates, full moons, new moons, throughout the whole year. Continued on. Okay, now, next thing I want to talk about is an introduction to a new feature that came out, which was the community tab. And at the time, you went to a channel and you'd see community as a tab. Now it's posts. Same thing. I wanted this thing so badly. So badly. One night in September 2022, I was up, I couldn't sleep, and I was so jealous of all these creators who had over 1,000 subscribers who could use this community tab, and I just didn't like them using this thing that I couldn't use. And I was just praying to God that I would have this feature to be able to use, because I would use it, because I started my Facebook page back in August 2022. And I started that and started posting that, and I was like, I want this thing so bad. I want to post all these things to my community tab on YouTube. I want, because I would use it. I would use the feature, but YouTube didn't allow for that, and I actually reported them to my channel, like, can you please enable this? And I just kind of, made songs about it. I kind of, I was just so obsessed with it. And then finally, in October of 2022, God answered my prayers, and they made it available for channels under 1,000 subscribers. And thank goodness. And it was just a matter of time before YouTube would make the feature available. For the feature to be available, you have to have advanced settings on your channel, whatever, advanced feature settings, and get, verification or whatever you need to do for that. So my channel was verified, and I waited days to get it, and finally I got it October 30th. It was on one of my accounts, not the other one, and then October 31st I clicked on my phone, and I saw, oh my gosh, I saw the post feature on my phone, and I was like, yes, finally I have it. And I was so glad, I was so excited, and I started using it. Started posting on it, and posted posts, and it was like not in the right order, so I purified that and started over and just posted my posts on Facebook of I scheduled them out like my written posts on opinions of things and spiritual topics, and all the thoughts that I had at the time, and then posts on videos and all this kind of stuff like that. And now I use it for videos definitely now. So I shared a lot of posts on my channel December 2023, starting there, and then continued on, November, December. Got rid of the posts, February 2023, got rid of them all, the shared posts that I posted on my channel. Continued posting in 2023, continued with the astrology videos, the full moons, and now I was getting into the summer of 2022. I actually got introduced to a calculator, like a natal chart calculator that I use for my videos, where I find like the orbs, and I was getting into aspects, and I was getting into finding all this stuff out for myself instead of just solely relying on a website. Like I was stepping into a little bit more independence and autonomy with this. And I really, really enjoyed making the videos, and I just enjoy it the most now that I've ever have making astrology videos now, since I know so much and I consider myself very, very deep with it. So, okay. So, continued on 2023, I started weekly horoscopes, weekly astrology videos back then. Continued throughout the year doing that, and did videos on the nodes through the signs and Saturn through the signs, of which you can check out on my original channel. And then what happened was it all ended at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, when I clicked on YouTube put a promotion thing on the YouTube studio. I was like, what is this? I'm curious. And so I clicked a button, not knowing what I was getting myself into. Clicked a button of promotions. And then all of a sudden, 300 subscribers, 500 subscribers, 800 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers, 6,000 subscribers, 9,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 10,001 subscribers. Like, it grew massively. Like, all of a sudden, boom, it blew up. And I was like, I don't have enough videos. I don't have more videos than followers. Like, there was something like where I need to have more videos than followers. Now it's like, I don't care. I'd rather have the opposite now, if anything, because I want to be more popular with my videos now. And I wish that they were more popular than they are. But they will eventually get that way. I just have to have faith. Have faith in that. So, won't try to cage the view or anything like that. But, so anyway, then I, ended up posting these, these, videos where I just filmed like 2 seconds, and then I just filmed the video over. And I just posted the video over and over and over. Of course, I got rid of all those just because I wanted for there to be more followers and videos. Now I'm like, no, I didn't want to abuse publishing. Like, I abused publishing videos. I abused YouTube with making videos and deleting it. Like, I feel like I have abused YouTube with video making and publishing. I've abused publishing, of which I don't do that now. I won't just post one video over and over and over again that I don't say anything to, or whatever. So did that. I just put an appropriate video on my original channel. It got flagged. There was a what's it called, what is it called? Like a restriction on your channel because you posted an inappropriate video, and I couldn't. The limit was put. Like, there was just several reasons why I just stopped for 2024 January through August of 2024 making YouTube videos. Of course, I posted a lot of the private videos, that I made as a kid, publicly on those accounts back in 2024 like crazy to try to get to, over, 10K videos, or, because I had over 10K subscribers. Of course, YouTube wouldn't let me because apparently there was a restriction on how many videos I could upload, more so than usual, and so that happened. Okay. So then I started my channel that I'm on now, that I'm on currently, August of 2024, when I made my video on August 4th on the astrology for August 5th through 7th. And what I did was I talked about the astrology for those 3 days, broke down the days, and then pulled oracle cards for each day. So I did that for, throughout the rest of 2024, and then did that. Then in 2025, I started with the signs, official the signs of my videos, the sun through the signs, moon through the signs, and I want to do this again on my podcast where I pulled oracle cards for the signs of what they need to know, and I did weekly astrology videos. Again, I did the weekly astrology videos again for the rest of the year. And then I was done and burnt out by the end of 2025 because I was so depressed, and December was a really, really rough month for me because of my health issues that I was going through. And so I was I'm done. I have zero interest in it anymore. And I made it a goodbye video. And then now I got back from the hospital and I started doing transit video, 1 per week, and then a general astrology video. Finishing up Mars with the signs, and then now started the podcast. February 20 started the Fastness of Google podcast February 2020. February, middle of February of this year, and then started the around February 26th. I started the this podcast, and so. And then, now I'm making the videos that I am now. So that's my whole kind of history with YouTube that I just wanted to spill out for you in this podcast. Okay, how long is this? Okay. So it says no bookmark. I hope this is still, that will save or whatever. Okay, so this was 52 minutes. Not bad. It could have been over an hour. Okay, that was this video on my history with YouTube. I hope to goodness it saves, and I can create the video and do all of that. So hopefully you'll see this in the Real Me podcast when I get it uploaded. But so anyway, I will go produce the video and you will see this. Thank you for tuning into the Real Me podcast, and tune in for episodes whenever I'm inspired to it, and bye.